Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking about the driving dynamics of the 4 Series. That's a 4 Series Grand Coupe and that's my 320D. Now they're virtually the same car, but what this video is going to be going through is how that car differs to the standard 3 Series. Now obviously that car has got the Xdrive and the 3 Series is just the standard rear wheel drive, so this video is really just going to focus around those things. Now the day to day is obviously quite wet, and that gives us the best opportunity to kind of test the Xdrive system. So guys, here I am in the F36 4 Series Grand Coupe. Now the Grand Coupe is basically a 5-door hatch based on the 2-door coupe, which is then based on a 3-door saloon like my F30 3 Series saloon. I mean, that just confuses pretty much probably everyone. And one thing that is for sure is that the 4 Series Grand Coupe is aimed at buyers that are a bit more sort of style conscious, unlike me, because I actually prefer saloons. This car, obviously, like I said, and what the thumbnail suggests, is this is an Xdrive, and I'm trying to compare the driving dynamics of the Xdrive and how this 4 Series actually drives compared to the F30 3 Series saloon. And my first impressions are that you actually sit quite low, because the car is a little squatter and it sits a bit lower than the saloon anyway, so it just has that kind of a bit more of a hunk down kind of approach to driving. I mean, the Xdrive 4-wheel drive system, we're obviously in kind of rainy conditions today, so it's going to be a perfect time to actually really see what the Xdrive is capable of. I mean, it actually goes around these corners really well anyway. Gets down the road really well. Obviously you've got the low driving position as well, which really helps, like, you point the car to where you want to point it. So on a day like today, when it's literally just chucking it down with rain, you really want to rely on the Xdrive. My rear wheel drive 3 Series, you know, also known as the Sdrive, that can feel quite skittish around these roads, especially with this amount of, like, say, you know, amount of water that's on the road. With this actually gives you the confidence to drive the car like the way it should be driven, without having to fear that, oh, you know what, it's going to like just spin out a little. However, that does kind of get away from, like, say, the fun element. I mean, this is still kind of rear biased for, you know, an Xdrive system, but you do lose that little bit of the fun factor, where you can feel, like, you know, the back end slipping away and you're trying to catch it again. I mean, some people might think, well, actually, you know what, we want to feel a bit safe, you know, driving. It's about the car is that, from appearances from outside, the cars that are fitted with the Xdrive system, they do sit a little bit higher. Now this car's even got the 19-inch wheels, it's got the M Plus pack on it, the same as my 3 Series back there. However, that just sits a little bit lower because it's got the rear wheel drive setup. Maybe with the 19-inch wheels, it does look a little bit awkward. I'm not sure why that is. Perhaps it's got something to do with the Xdrive system's weight. I've got it in Sports Plus mode, and it's just taking these corners, it's literally just eating them. I mean, check this out. It's just gripping onto those corners like there's no tomorrow. It's a brilliant system, you know. I mean, the owner who owns this car, I mean, he's also got the Audi Quattro and well, the A5 Quattro in the 3-litre form, and he absolutely, I mean, I was talking to him earlier on, and he says that he absolutely loves the way this car is driver focused compared to his A5. So the key differences between, like, this 4 Series Grand Coupe and my 3 Series Saloon is that this is a little bit wider, it's a little bit lower, so when it sits on the road it just looks a little bit more sportier and aggressive. And that kind of driving dynamics through those little changes you can actually feel when you're driving the car. Also, obviously, this car is coupled with, like, the Xdrive system, so you can really just take the corners without having to kind of lift off or kind of fear that, you know, the car's going to get a bit skittish around the corners. Right guys, so what we're going to do here is we're going to see how quick this car is. I'm going to stick the car into Sports Plus mode, stick the gearbox into Sport, and I'm just going to launch it now. I'll say launch it. You can just tell the keys are just falling down. And that engine, like I say, it's quite a punchy unit. Now 400 Newton meters of torque, you can just tell how much shove there is in that car. Before you know it, you're already getting up to the road speed. And the Xdrive there, as you can just tell, it just takes these corners on the road that's completely wet. It completely just changes the transformation of the car from a rear wheel drive to an Xdrive car. And that's one of the reasons why I think you should buy an Xdrive over the standard rear wheel drive car, because it just gives you that confidence. If that was my 3 Series now, I'd be going around that bend and the car would be getting quite skittish, and I'd probably be like easing off the accelerator and dabbing the brakes. But in this car, it was none of that. Literally just went through it. The B47 engine, it's quite a good unit from BMW. It's quite noisy at startup, but once the car's up to temperature and once it's kind of running for the day, it actually begins to settle down quite a bit, and you can actually just cruise in this car without the noise being too intrusive. It's quite a punchy unit as well. 190 brake horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque, and the air shove, that's quite apparent when you're actually just driving this, especially up and down the motorway. It's brilliant. For a 2-litre unit, it's not going to be as smooth as any kind of 6-pot or a V6, but it's good for what it is. So this car's got the 8-speed, well, I'll say the brilliant 8-speed ZF gearbox. I've got it in my M140i, I've got it in my 320D. It's not a double clutch, but I don't think it needs to be, because it's actually lightning quick. You pull on the paddles and it literally just like, the kind of downshifts and the upshifts, they are quite instant, and it's just brilliant. So guys, you know how I always hark on about adaptive suspension on the M140i's? Well, neither this car or my 320D have got the adaptive suspension, but I'm a strong believer that obviously if these cars did have the adaptive suspensions, they would just drive so much better. However, having said that, these are the 3 and the 4 Series cars, so their suspension is already kind of set up to be a bit more sort of comfort oriented, so you probably don't miss having the adaptive suspension in this car as well as the 320, because they are the kind of class above the kind of 1 Series, but it definitely makes a huge difference on the 1 Series cars. I mean, my 140i, the ride comfort on that matches pretty much the same as what it is on the standard setup on the 320 and on this 4 Series. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a like, a share, and subscribe to my channel for more car related content. I certainly enjoyed driving this 4 Series Grand Coupe and trying to compare its driving dynamics to my 320D, which is right over there somewhere. If I can point to it, there we go. Hopefully I'll see you guys on my next vid. Take care guys, bye.